Hi, I have 5 questions for you today to find out whether or not your relationships with close family, friends and your partner are healthy or not. First one is, are you thriving and growing when you're around this person? Do you envision a lovely future? Or do you feel like you've got to basically make yourself smaller and edit yourself and hyper adjust to keep the peace? Question number 2. Do you feel like the other person respects the sovereignty of your mind, meaning your individuality, your unique point of reference, your experience in here? Do they reflect back an appreciation and validation of your feelings and thoughts and experiences? Or on the other hand, do you feel like there's confusion there? Do you feel confused after interacting with a person? Do you feel like there's a lack of psychological boundaries and that person might be rigidly projecting onto you an image of yourself which isn't who you are? And sometimes maybe you come away feeling bad about yourself. Maybe sometimes you feel that they're putting you on a pedestal and pretending that you're a certain thing that you're not. And it's not that you don't have positive things to say about yourself, it's just that the positive things they're reflecting back to you are more about what they want you to be than who you really are. And on the other hand, you feel like you could be knocked off that pedestal at any moment and then demonized and fall from grace in their eyes. The third question is, do you feel like you can be your authentic self? And by that I mean, do you feel able to be vulnerable? Do you feel able to be completely natural, to laugh, to be silly, to be a little bit childish, to take risks, to show your most vulnerable self? Do you feel like you can cry if you're upset about things? Do you feel like you can be angry or express disapproval within reason? Or do you feel like, you can't really do that because the rules are dictated by the other person, and in actual fact you see a lot of the person, but it's more like the intimacy is not really there, the connection isn't really there, even though you see the person all the time. You're not really being yourself with them. You're not really able to be open about everything. It's more like an enmeshment or a fused type of relationship than a truly intimate relationship where you've got two people who are individuals coming together, getting to know each other and respect each other. And is there some codependence happening? Are you doing things to feed or reinforce poor habits or behaviours on the other person's part in order to keep the peace and in order to conserve a fantasy image of the relationship which isn't really real? And if you did a reality check, you'd be saying no more often to that person and refusing to do things they ask you to do because it's not good for them. Question number 4. Can you both compromise, negotiate and adjust? Or is one person dictating? Is this person basically a dictator or an autocrat in the relationship? Are you basically going along with whatever they want because you don't feel safe to negotiate change, to say, well, I don't want to do that, to say no, to navigate a different type of set of outcomes or goals together? Is there no room for compromise and do all decisions have to be made by that other person? Or else, are there real consequences for you saying no or you trying to negotiate a different way of doing things? And the final question is there accountability and self-awareness? By that I mean, can you say you're sorry and can they say they're sorry? And when they say they're sorry, do they really mean it, or are they really just saying, I'm sorry with crocodile tears and then blaming you for something they did? Because that is part of a cycle of abuse. When people refuse to apologize and take responsibility, when they've been made aware they've done something hurtful and injurious to someone else, and they just can't face up to the embarrassment or the shame or the failure on their part, sometimes what they do is they skip over that. They buy you a gift. They try to make you forget. They rewrite history by pretending that it never happened that way and that you're wrong and that they're right and that you should just really understand that you're asking too much of them. So if you're in a relationship with someone like that who refuses to ever really take responsibility and really recognize when you express that you've been hurt or upset by something and you're making a reasonable request for change, that they just refuse to hear that. Then maybe it's time for a reality check on your relationship.